So a very warm welcome and good evening. It's just before sunset and we are on the ground at Birmingham, and we're going to be taking a flight north up to Manchester today. Just got a new headset and mic, so I'm testing the levels to see so that I don't have to shout basically, and you can hear me nice and clear over the noises in the cockpit and the external sounds of the engines, etc. Should be a very quick flight, this one today. No hanging about. It's quite late in the morning for me, about 3:30 AM. Just I go to bed late because of my shift patterns, so we're just going to do a quick flight up to Manchester. We're going to change the altitude to 10,000. We want to be going up at 2,500 feet per minute. I'm just talking completely normal now to see how that comes across on the recording. 2,500 feet. Very quickly take you through the route. So we'll just increase the map size. 20 nautical miles, 40 nautical miles. As you can see, it's we're climbing out of Birmingham, doing kind of a zigzag up to Manchester. We'll get the big map up now, and I'll give you some more information on the actual flight itself. Make that just a little bit bigger, so you've got a half a clue of what we're doing. So Echo Golf Bravo Bravo Birmingham. We'll be taking off from runway 10, I think. So let's just come back here a minute. So yeah, taking off runway 10. Actually be 28, will it? I don't know. We'll figure it out. What's the heading say? No, it will be runway. Bear with. Three, 4, if there is such a thing. Rain is very sporadic at the moment. Anyway, heading out of Birmingham with a slight track north. Bravo Bravo N November 30. Bravo Bravo November 32 up to Lotham. We're making an easterly turn about 90 degrees to Elvos. That's the arrival into Manchester, and we're heading up northwest to Trent. TNT waypoint, that's the VOR, into Cushy, down to Dane. Now I do recall that by Trent we need to be around about 12,000 feet, I think it is. We'll check on the FMC in a minute. Dane we need to be at 8,300 feet, and then obviously MCT heading out over the Glossop Valley for India, November 1, 2 and 10, and then the actual arrival on 2-3 right at Manchester. So that's our route. I think everything's done, everything's configured. We might as well just crack on with it, because as I say, it's getting late, so let's go flying. Very claggy. We've got this storm kicking into the UK at the moment. I've got it set to real world weather, so there's a very good chance it could be extremely windy, but we'll see how we go. Initial cruise, we're going to go to 10,000. Let's get us out of here. Not too blustery at the moment. Runway 33 departure. That's 80 knots. Oh, there is some wind. Wow, it's trying to blow us off to the right. Oh, V1. Rotate. Oh, it is windy. Positive rate. Gear up. Bringing the power back to 70% N1. as we climb up through the clag. We'll keep that climb going and we'll get the autopilot in. Autopilot engaged. Yeah, 2,500 feet per minute on the climb. We'll take up to 20,000. So as I say, there's no time for messing about tonight. Everything else is looking good. Okay, we've got quite a strong crosswind, so yeah, this storm really has kicked in now. It's 52 knots. 144 degrees, so that's coming from east to west. We've got a ground speed of 235 miles an hour as we climb up now, 8 nautical miles inbound to Bravo Bravo November 32, crossing 6,000 for 10. Let's make sure the speed's configured properly. We're going with the engage managed speed mode, 20,000 selected. Climbing nicely. And really not very much to see outside at all as we are climbing through a storm. Okay, we are in the Luthansa Airbus A320 Neo for this flight. Always liked Luthansa, love the old livery, but I do like the new one as well. I'm in two minds as to which one is my favourite, to be honest with you. Climbing up through these storm clouds now. I mean, they could be going up to as much as 40,000 feet, to be honest. There we go, there's a bit of a clearance there. Yeah, time to get them flaps in. Flaps up. Very moody looking clouds. And a right turn at Bravo Bravo November 32 and love them coming up any second now. There it is. These clouds are bad. Checking the mic levels now as outside the aircraft there is the engine sounds and stuff. On previous videos you're struggling to hear me. I've adjusted the volume so the microphone's a lot louder, so I'm just waiting to hear this play back once the flight's complete, just so that obviously you can hear me above the sound of the engines while I'm talking and doing the commentary for the video. Not so much of an issue in the other views, it's just where you can really hear the engines roaring from outside the aircraft. Wow, it just looks like a different world from Narnia or something. Very beautiful. Minutes into the flight, hopefully it'll be no longer than about half an hour this one because it is getting late, but We are checking the levels, so needs must. Okay, we've got a left-hand turn. Very shortly, we're at 17, almost 18,000 feet now, 320 knots. With a left-hand turn coming up now. Very, very strange looking cloud layer. We've got all that bulky, thick, grey, very, very dark, stormy clouds with lighter clouds above. And we are at our assigned altitude, I can tell, because the auto throttle is throttling back the engines ever so slightly. Continue that left-hand turn to Trent. Let's just check the FMC so we can check the altitudes for the arrival. We need to avoid well, you can ignore that because we haven't even gone up to that altitude yet. 8,000 feet by Dane is the one that we need to be concentrating on. MCT 3,500. So the reason we need to be at that height is because we descend over the Glossop Valley and there's a lot of high ground with the Northern Peak District. The Glossop Valley itself is quite mountainous, with peaks coming up to around about 2,500, 2,700 feet. So 3,500, just so that we know we're clear of that high ground on the way in. So we'll concentrate on the descent for getting to Dane, 8,000 feet by Dane. And it's looking like we're about 74 nautical miles away from Dane. So heading for Trent now, that should be 57. So if we look on the PFD, oh no, 15 nautical miles inbound to Trent now, and it's completely blown us off course. I mean, where on earth are we going there? But Dane's not too far away, so we'll get a gradual descent in. We'll go down to 8,000, see how below it is out there. Wow, 8,000 feet for Dane, set and running. We want to come down around about 800 feet per minute initially. Let's see how we go. That should show us on the PFD though when we get to 8,000 feet. Now we're going to need to come down quicker than that. Wow, look at the wind. As I say, this is real time in a storm. But ladies and gents, there's a storm in the UK at the moment, not too sure what the name is, but it's stormy, let's put it that way. Give it 1,700 feet per minute on the descent. We'll check the speed and set that to managed speed mode. That should start bringing the speed down ever so slightly. Rather a lovely view, even though it's stormy. Very bright and quite mysterious, and blues and greys and whites. Let's see what the wing view is saying. Wow, it's even better. It's actually turning out to be quite a nice flight this, even though it's the early hours of the morning. Sleep can wait. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I've not upgraded to 24 yet due to the real inconsistencies and the issues that they're having with bugs. and problems with the game crashing and not working, and all of the payware not being in there, etc, etc. So it's just, it needs a good couple of years of being out and having the problems fixed before I'm even going to go anywhere near it. More than happy with 2020 right now, and the updates that they're doing for 2020, absolutely fantastic. Graphically it's improving all the time, and there is support for 2020 for the next 5 years. I'm pretty glad that there is, because with the peripherals that I've bought, with the add-ons that I've bought, and with the deluxe game that I've bought, I've got to be about £300–400 deep at the moment for 2020 on the Xbox Series X. So I shall get my money's worth, let's put it that way. Let's see how we're doing on the descent. Oh my god, are we at Dane already? No, we're not at Dane already, but we are at 8,000. So look at that, yeah, just about to hit Dane at 8,000 feet, that's absolutely perfect. Okay, a nice 42 knot tailwind now, 162 degrees. Ground speed of 327 miles an hour, 6 nautical miles inbound to Dane. We are at 8,000 feet, as we should be for Dane, and we need to be down to 3,500 feet by the time we get to the Glossop Valley. So we'll continue our descent now that we are passing Dane. 3,500. 3,500 feet. We'll continue to come down at 1,700. Excuse me, a bit of a cold, blocked nose is what it is. Let's just see how we're doing on the map. So we're crossing over the top of Manchester right now, or we will be doing very shortly. At the airport, I should say, not the city. The city will be off to our left. Just checking the map view. Why are we going that way? Where on earth is that taking us? Oh, we're in a gradual right hand turn, we're heading direct MCT, yeah, so we are heading for the VOR at Manchester Airport, straight over the airport, out over the Glossop Valley, do a loop round, come back in for 23 right. 7,000 feet. That's nice for where we are. Let's just reduce that rate of descent ever so slightly. (1,300 feet per minute should do us. Yeah, that's nice. And we're down to 210 knots on the arrival. 25 minutes into the flight. Wheels all good. Engines acting as they should do. Coming through 6,300 for 3,500. Just going to put the terrain map on now that we're coming into the high ground at Glossop. Stick the terrain on. That should start mapping it all in for, as you can see on the right hand side of the map, as we get to where the Glossop Valley is, and then we do a loop round and a change. You can see all of the high ground raising up. That's what we need to be avoiding. That's why we need to be at 3,500. Currently at 5,800, descending 3,500. And again, not very much to see out there. But we'll continue with our turn. We're directly over the airport now. And you really can't see anything. I'm just hoping we get visuals of the runway as we get there. Oh, this is bad weather. There's all the high ground. The PFD heading directly towards it. 4,900 feet for 3,500. I don't even know what the cloud ceiling is on the weather. I've not checked the ATIS. I'm hoping. Here's the rain. Right, well, we know where the high ground is and we are good for clearing that, so we'll get rid of that. Get us back on where we should be. Yeah, 3,500 now. We're at our assumed. We are at our assigned altitude, I should say. Vaguely pick up some of the scenery on the ground there beneath us. Oh, yeah. We really can't see much at all. This is very, very ropey. But well, we're good. We're all right. Let's see how we're getting on. Bad weather, really bad weather. I really can't see where we're going here at all. We truly are relying on the computer system. I mean, I could change the weather so there's more to look at. We don't have to be in a storm. Yeah, I tell you what, we'll do that because it's not cheating. This is real world. It is a storm, but there's very little to see, and as I'm videoing it, we might as well have something to look at. We'll go with few clouds. Should we have some lightning? A little bit of precipitation. Throw some lightning into the mix, why not, eh? That makes things a bit more interesting. Oh, there's rainbows over the Glossop Valley. You can see the lakes there in the Peak District. See, that's more like it, that's more to look at. Oh, there's the lightning. Much better. This is more like it, much more to see. Much better than just thick fog. Should we drop that sun a little bit as well? No, I'm quite liking the way the sun's casting a shadow on the mountains. Very nice stuff. So you can see why we need to be at 3,500 feet. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Look at that. Because we've got all of this high ground over the Glossop Valley. But we're about to clear it now as we descend over this hill, so I'm going to bring us down to 2,000 feet. Yeah, we'll just clear that mountain, so we'll go 2,000 feet. In fact, we'll go 1,800 feet. We'll activate the approach mode and the ILS. Okay, so they're all in now. And this is going to be a very, very delightful arrival. Much better than a storm, wouldn't you say? With a nice sunset directly behind the runways. Very nice indeed. There we go. Stockport. Get some flaps, flaps 5. Flaps 10. Flaps 15 with lightning going off in the distance. Let's get the gear down. Flaps full. That's us all configured for landing. Gears down. Before landing checks complete. And the lights of Manchester Airport are just in the distance there. You can probably just make them out underneath the sun. Lightning going off all over the Shire. Not really doing it justice because the sun's too high in the sky, but anyway, it doesn't matter, still stormy. see just off in the distance there's all the skyscrapers of Manchester city centre. You've got Eccles, and the M62 motorway beneath us there, you can just see under the engine now. Salford. There's the airport in sight now, the runway in sight. I'll be disengaging the autopilot very shortly and hand flying the final approach. Everything's configured, flaps are done, gear is down. Speed check. 145 knots, that's fine. We're at 1800 feet. Oh no, we're not, we're at 1200 feet. We are following the glide slope down, so the ILS is activated for 2-3 right. It's 1000 feet. 2 towers of the airport you can see there. Lightning going off in the distance. What a beautiful arrival. Autopilot's coming out. Auto throttle disengaged. We are now hand flying the aircraft. Okay, below 1000 feet now, and the decision is to land.
300.
Traffic on the motorway. Looking for the centre line.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester. Very stormy evening with lightning going off and a wonderful sunset directly ahead of us. Going to be vacating the runway at the next taxiway to the right. More lightning kicking off in the distance. Just find any old available stand, just get it parked up. What should have been quite a routine, really quick flight, it's ended up taking 40 minutes, but not to worry, we're all in one piece with a rather smooth approach and landing considering the stormy conditions, and the majority of the flight was using real world weather, and in the UK we have got a big storm hitting at the moment. Just find a parking space. Take that jet bridge that's directly ahead of us. Is there actually any line there that we can follow? Yes, there is. So what we'll do is we'll get parked up and then we'll request a jet bridge for the passengers, and then we are all good. Parking brake set. Let's just go to the external camera view. Sorry. Bear with. We go for the drone cam. Showcase camera. Let's get them air brakes and the flaps back up. Request ground services, thank you, Manchester ground 121.655, and we will have the jetway connection, thank you very much. Doors open. There's the jetway connected. The passengers can start to disembark. Also have fuel. The baggage service and catering. Go. Catering done at the back of the aircraft. That's the luggage being loaded for our next leg. So the engines are spooling down, otherwise these unfortunates would be sucked into the engine. That's it, that's the bags done. We'll get the lights turned off. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester. That's the end of tonight's flight. Thank you very much indeed for viewing. 45 minutes, way longer than it should have been. Do all the good stuff. Jetstream TV. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. It's always great to leave your comments, and thank you once again for coming along on this ride from Birmingham to Manchester. I'll see you very, very soon on the next flight. Take care of yourselves.